Hello, and welcome to Hey, I Loved That Movie, the podcast where we rewatch the films we loved when we were younger to see if they still hold up. I'm Dan.
I'm Michael.
And I'm Helena.
And for this episode, we watched Shaun of the Dead.
I don't know what tune that is.
Oh, it's just it
Trying
plays in the film a lot. Anyway, turns out this film's 20 years old now.
I know. How?
I know, right?
So I didn't watch this when it came out, obviously, because I was too little. But God, it is pretty crazy, and they're so baby-faced in it as well.
Yeah. I didn't watch this when it came out either because I wouldn't have heard of it, and also I was very much a wuss and I hated any sort of horror stuff. I think I eventually caught this, it was on TV, late one evening, and I was like, oh, well, I'll try and watch it. It must have been in, 2009 or so. And then I ended up getting on DVD and watching it loads. This is probably my most watched film.
Oh, wow.
I would say.
Unsurprisingly, I think I did watch this when I was really young.
Yeah.
Not the worst thing you watched.
No, absolutely. I think this was quite tame, even for me back then. This film, it felt like it was everywhere when I was younger.
Yeah.
I remember the adverts being on buses.
Yeah. But it felt like everyone was fucking talking about it.
Yeah. See, for me, I bypassed this one. For me, the big one everyone was talking about was Hot Fuzz. I remember everyone talking about that, but I didn't watch that until after I'd seen this either, to be fair. And it was a couple of years after it'd come out. I definitely didn't watch them straight away. And then I got into Spaced and all that kind of thing and was just really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah, the first Nick Frost, Simon Pegg thing I watched was Edgar Wright. Is it Edgar Wright? Anyway, was Paul, I think?
Oh yeah, that's the one that they did where Edgar Wright didn't direct it because he was doing Scott Pilgrim.
That's such a surprising first film of the trio to watch.
That's the one I first remember. I might have watched others and not taken it in at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I remember specifically because my uncle is called Paul and my mum bought the DVD for him as a present.
Ah. Weird reason to buy a DVD.
Yeah, really scraping the barrel there of ideas.
Yeah.
Saying that, if there's ever a film called Helena, I am buying that on DVD. In 2024 upwards. I would still buy that on DVD.
Yeah. We know my opinion on the director. We did Scott Pilgrim, didn't we?
Yeah, because I say Scott Pilgrim was what he was doing while Simon Pegg and Nick Frost did Paul. But you're not really a fan, are you?
I'm not. No, I don't like Hot Fuzz. I know I don't like Hot Fuzz. I don't mind Shaun of the Dead. Shaun of the Dead doesn't feel that headachy to me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed watching it. It just annoys me. I could never watch all three. The last one I think is a bad film. The trilogy, the Cornetto trilogy, I could never watch them all in the row.
No.
That's too much.
The At World's End is the last one.
Yeah, World's End was alright. I preferred that on a later watch, than when it came out.
That was more fun the second or third time I watched it, I think.
Yeah.
I think I watched it once.
Knowing more what I was getting into with it, I was like, oh, actually, okay.
And the blue is less out of the blue.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I watched it once, and even then I wanted to give up.
I liked Hot Fuzz a lot. I think I know the area where it's filmed really well.
Yeah.
I've got family there. Weirdly, where my uncle lives. It's right near there. And that one always tickled me. That was one that we'd watched a lot and quote a lot.
Yeah. It's easily quotable, that one.
But this one I didn't. I think it was probably the last of them. I probably saw this one before I saw At World's End, or The World's End, or whatever it's called. But I hadn't really watched it properly, ever. I'm sure I've watched it, but it's always been maybe the third or fourth film in a marathon or something like that.
Yeah, I think Shaun of the Dead was a big sort of movie night movie for quite a while, of just easy to put on as background,
Yeah.
Right.
It was great. It was great. People kept putting this film on, and then Anchorman, and I wanted to kill myself. That's it. Those are the two films everyone wanted to put on.
I've still never seen Anchorman, and I'm fine with that.
It's not good. And I don't think that's me saying it's not good because I don't like pretty much anyone in it. I think it's a bad film.
I think the other one that was on at movie nights a lot was White Chicks, and I think we should revisit that for this show.
White Chicks is a great film.
I'm quite keen to watch White Flicks.
White Chicks very clearly is a dumb movie.
Yeah. Maybe we'll
trying
line
to
that
be
up for
fancy.
next recording session.
Yeah.
Anyway, Shaun of the Dead, though.
Yeah, Shaun of the Dead. Was Shaun of the Dead part of the wave of... Because I swear there were like a shit ton of zombie movies coming out all at the same time.
Well, it's a piss take of Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah.
Well,
this
yeah,
was,
obviously.
I think this this was sort of before the sort of zombie sort of resurgence, because a lot of that was, there was that Dawn of the Dead remake that Snyder did that was shit. There was, The Walking Dead was obviously the big one for bringing up a lot of zombie stuff, but that didn't start
That
till
was later. That was way
2010,
later.
yeah.
Also, The Walking Dead is the TV era for me.
Yeah.
Like when TV shows were big and they're not anymore because one of them ruined it for everyone.
Yep.
Imagine ending your show so badly that it ruined TV as a whole.
Imagine ending your show so badly that the whole cultural phenomenon of it just stops.
It's gone.
No one cares.
And was never able to re-get off the ground.
Oh, apparently it's not Dawn of the Dead that it's based. It's not based like a parody. It's just generally.
Just general
Zombie
parody,
movies.
yeah. Because I think the
Zombie
other
movies.
parody they were thinking of doing as like a sequel was From Dusk Till Shaun, and that poster is in Spider-Verse movie in one of the alternate
cool.
dimensions. Yeah.
That does not sound good.
No.
That does not sound good.
I'd watch it though.
Uh,
I'd prefer if it was like a Shaun the Sheep.
Yeah.
Shaun of the Dead,
Well,
but
I'd
it's the
love that.
sheep the whole time. That was a very good Shaun the Sheep impression.
yes.
Oh, you believe it when I say it, I have watched all of the Shaun the Sheep TV show multiple times.
Which, the new one?
Yeah. The spin-off from the Wallace and Gromit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So he's just in
It's
a
Shaun the
close shave.
I forgot Shaun the Sheep is a spin-off of Wallace and Gromit.
There's even a spin-off of Shaun the Sheep called
Yeah,
Timmy Time.
Yeah.
And that's also pretty good.
The Wallace and
Wallace
Gromit
and-
expanded universe.
Yeah, which for some reason in my brain also includes Chicken Run.
Yeah, it's because
That's all
Yeah.
the same universe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they can. I think they can quite comfortably exist in the same realm.
Yeah. I mean, you have the realization that in Wallace and Gromit the chickens can talk.
And in Shaun the Sheep, no one can talk.
Yep.
Like not in that the farmer just makes sort of vaguely farmer noises.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a varying degree of mental ability amongst animals in the Wallace and Gromit universe. The WGU.
Yeah. So I wasn't super familiar with this film actually. So this is the first time I've properly sat down and watched it. Certainly in the last 15 years. if
Oh yeah,
not.
no, I haven't seen it for a long time.
Yeah, it just never. I don't know. It just wasn't my favorite of the. We really liked Space, so we've rewatched Space quite a lot.
Yeah, Space
in
Space is a
recent
really good
years.
sitcom. I need to rewatch that. It's
Don't
been a
think
while since I've watched that.
I don't think I've ever seen Spaced.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
'cause
good.
that-
You'd like it.
I won't. I can promise you.
It's
Yeah.
really random.
Yeah, because that was their
Yeah.
first sort of thing. Because it was like 1999, the first season came out, and then the
Yeah.
second was 2001. But it was while they were making that they had the idea for Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, no, I couldn't.
I mean, you might like it in that it's everyone you know is in it.
Yeah, Jessica
But-
Hines is like the main character.
Yeah.
She's great.
Yeah.
I did like that she shows up in this as
Yeah.
like the weird alternate versions of their characters.
Yeah, the better film. Show up as the much more interesting film with a much better cast. Yeah, no, that is that era of British TV comedy though.
Yeah,
like comedian. Those actors are of that era.
yeah, because like Dylan Moran is in like Black Books and things like that.
Yeah, but it's that era of comedian.
Yeah, because you've got like Peter Serafinowicz is in this. I do like how they've got Penelope Wilton and Bill Nighy playing Shaun's parents though.
Yes,
Yeah.
great. It is that thing of like if you can get a certain amount of good British actors in it, you can just kind of collect them in one movie.
Yeah.
You just kind of get them all together.
Yeah, what would be the group WhatsApp in this day and age?
Yeah, pretty much. British actors will do films just because other actors are in them. That's how it happens here. It's great. I don't know, I don't know how I feel about this film.
I like the start. I like
is-
the gag at the start where like we see the introduction to their shit lives, and then we have the same scene again the day after the zombie outbreak, and he does the exact same thing. It's like, would you want anything from the shop?
Yeah.
And they're hungover because he's been dumped.
They also do the
everyone's
whole
dead, and he doesn't notice.
There's
They
so
also
much...
do the whole for the opening of the film. They do the whole we know the audience know it's a zombie film, so we're going to keep teasing that the zombies aren't turning up.
Oh yeah, the big yawn that happens 3 times was quite funny.
Yeah. And then this film is also just chock full of foreshadowing and just straight up referencing what is going to happen. I imagine one of the reasons that you probably don't like this, Mikey, is because a lot of people will tell you how clever that is.
Oh, yeah, no, I can't. It's not people telling me how clever that is. It feels like the film is telling me how clever it is. I feel like the film is trying to convince me that it's a really smart film.
I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that. I think this film knows it's dumb.
Yeah.
No, but I don't know. Like when he's flipping through the channels and it's like explaining what zombies do.
Yeah, but like just
you know
different,
when they're like
yeah,
and he's like flipping through and it going
flipping.
through like National Geographic and like films and stuff. I feel like the film is nudging me, going, "Huh? Isn't that smart? Isn't that clever?"
Yeah. Or the speech in the pub where they're going through like Bloody Mary, Bite of the King's Head, and it's like just essentially telling you what's going to happen in the movie, but in drinks terms.
Yeah, just like, which again, I know it's not, and this film, it's a very well made film, but fuck, it just annoys me.
I had a fine time watching this film.
Yeah, I still really like this one, but sorry, you go on.
I do love Penelope Wilton being in this film because she is also in Calendar Girls.
Yep.
Which was filmed the same year.
Great.
Well, the year before, but I'm sure there was a bit of overlapping of the filming, which is just brilliant. So different British film vibes.
I mean, I think this was the same year for Bill Nighy that he also had Underworld come out. So
Nice.
big year for Bill Nighy.
Acting.
That's the year he went, fuck it.
That's his yes man year. I don't have a problem with the way Edgar Wright directs. So I quite enjoyed that, and I know well enough like his Edgar Wrightisms, like the stuff that he always does, but this is like one of the early ones where it's like a statement and not shoving it in your face thing.
Yeah, it's a stylistic choice, not a like, look what I do. This is what I do.
Like, eye shots for Peter Jackson and that kind of thing. It's like sometimes it's genuinely a good shot and they put effort into making it a good thing.
Yeah. Or like Wes Anderson's whole thing.
Well, yeah.
Well, because it doesn't bother me.
So the plot is Shaun is in a dead end job, hates his life. He's got one like wannabe successful roommate, and then his other mate, who's Nick Frost, who's just a bit of a
he's got
failure to thrive.
He's got one roommate with a normal life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one dickhead.
Yeah. One
like,
bloke that lives on the sofa.
Yeah, when it's like the other roommate.
Hanger on.
Yeah. When the other roommate is like, hey, can you not... You technically don't live here, can you at least clean up after yourself? And he's like, I'm 100% on that roommate's side.
Oh, yeah. He's called Ed in this, but it's Nick Frost.
Yeah.
But it's Shaun, because it's Shaun of the Dead, so I can remember it.
Yeah.
Shaun and Ed are best friends and have been since primary school, and the sort of thick of thieves kind of thing, where obviously when they were younger, they had way more in common, and as they've grown up, like Shaun's had to keep on making excuses for his friend being essentially lazy.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Shaun grew up and Ed didn't.
And he's like, yeah, and
Is the
his
short
friend's
end.
very like the character Ed is very teenage boy in an
Yeah.
adult body. It's just the cringiest, like making jokes that no one finds funny, saying inappropriate things, and being, generally a layabout, which is kind of cool and fine when you're in your teens and no one gives a shit. You don't really have anything you want to do, but they're 28,
Yeah.
which is kind of a bit ouch, but at least I do have my shit together a bit more than they do. But yeah, it's like, like I'm gonna do something with my life, and he says to like he realizes like all his the employees at the television shop are all teenagers.
Yeah.
And one of them so hard because they're ribbing him, which is also hilarious because like he's the oldest there and he's still got no like managerial skill whatsoever. The kids are like, he's like, oh, I'm only 28. I'm gonna still gonna do stuff, and it's like, when?
Yeah.
And it's so brutal, but it's like,
Yeah.
well, yeah, geez, get on with it, man.
Yeah, and meanwhile, his girlfriend, who he's been with for like 3 years, he's like missed their anniversary. She's fed up because all they do is spend time in the same pub all the time.
Yeah.
And like he wants to hang out with her, but bring Ed along because he wants Ed to socialize, but Ed's not actually pleasant to be around. So
Yeah.
her friends don't really want to hang out with him.
No, and her friends are Diane, who I can't remember the actress's name, but she's really good. And then Dylan Moran, who is David, I think, in this.
Yeah.
It's Lucy Davies.
Yeah, Lucy Davies. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah,
Who are all like brilliant comedians.
they're great. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all really funny comedians. Although saying that, I feel like some of them might have questionable opinions.
Yeah. Is there a thing we need to address?
I don't know. I don't
Not
know.
that I
but
know
like
of.
comedians of this era, you kind of have to assume
There's gonna be something.
there's gonna be something.
No one's safe.
They stand in solidarity with someone terrible. Yeah, his girlfriend, his like ex-girlfriend or whatever in this, is completely within the right in every decision that she makes.
Oh, yeah,
So she's like,
absolutely.
I'm leaving you because like you've promised so many things and you've never come through on any of your promises, and like it's just words.
Yeah. Well, he
Dumps him,
tries
and
to.
he like yeah.
He tries to give her his mum's birthday flowers.
Yeah, that he'd already a week late on or 2 weeks late on because he forgot to bring them to his mum last time for Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Doesn't even
Awful
take
person.
the sticker off.
Yeah, and he was supposed to.
And like he's supposed to make
the
the dinner reservation,
Yeah.
reservation, and he doesn't. But he also is like super blasé on the phone because he's trying to basically impress or prove a point to these teenagers.
Yeah.
Which is just
Yeah.
it's so dumb, and it's like, and then he like gets home and he's like, oh shit, I've not made a reservation, and then it's like, well, where else can we go? And he also can't find anywhere else to take his girlfriend for their anniversary in London.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, how fucking hard did you try?
Yep. Yeah.
And he's just overall like, yeah, she should have dumped him. Because he's holding her back. Basically, she's like, I want to do things and I can't with you.
Yeah, he ends up going round to her flat, and they're like sort of having an argument. I like the bit where he's like saying about how you said that I live with a failed actress and a twat, and he's like, I never said Diane was a failed actress.
Yeah, and they can definitely hear.
Yeah.
And then so they get home. He goes back to the pub with Ed, and they get really drunk because you got to get over it. And like, to be fair, you see the friendship side shine through there quite nicely, where like Ed's trying to make him laugh, and it doesn't work straight away, but eventually he does get him to have a little giggle.
Yeah.
Like, look, you see, you're okay. Like he brings him around a little bit, makes him feel a bit less shit.
Yeah,
and
the
it's
karaoke
like, okay, I
machine
can see
starts
why
playing.
they're friends.
Yeah.
Karaoke machine's playing If You Leave Me Now.
Yeah.
It's like, who the fuck put this on? It's on random. But yeah, so they end up having a lock-in, like, having shots. There are people watching in the bar, talking about all the different, like, regulars and that in there.
Oh no, the only one that's really relevant, I guess, is the fact that they reckon that the bartender used to be in the mafia.
Yeah, and
Or
that
in
the
a gang or
rifle above
something, and
the
it's like,
bar is loaded. He's like, no, it's not.
yeah. They're
And
like,
then-
why is there a rifle above the barrel? They're like, because it's called the Winchester.
Yeah.
And
There's
then
some-
it's like, nah, it's 'cause...
Yeah, there's someone else there called like Snake Hips, and yeah, he's always surrounded by women, and then later on you just see him being eaten by a load of like female zombies.
Yeah.
Um,
That bit was quite fun because they're trying to walk to the Winchester because they basically have to gather the troops. So it's he goes and gets his mum and his stepdad, who he has a tumultuous relationship with, and because he's a bit of a dickhead, to be fair, not his stepdad, the main character.
Yep.
And they eventually he expects that he's been told that his stepdad's been bitten, so he goes over there to kill him, but he's not actually turned yet.
yeah, because hang on, did I black out for 5 minutes there, or did you just jump forward massively?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Did you want to do the? Well, we talked a bit about like he goes to.
Well, yeah, they have
her
the
flat.
breakup. They go back to the flat. He's like, they're playing music really loud in the night.
Oh yeah, Peter Serafinovich is like.
Yeah, it's 4 in the fucking morning, and that bit
And, like,
on
the-
when it's on TV is really funny because it's I can't remember what it is that they say, but it's really badly dubbed as something else.
Yeah.
There's also, and he's like, I've got to go in tomorrow because everyone else has called in sick.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah,
like this is the beginning of like people getting, poorly
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah, he's been bitten. The next morning after they wake up, like, hungover, yeah, that's when he goes to the shop, gets the cornetto and that. There's all the zombies and that around.
And he
There's
just
that
doesn't
girl
know,
in...
he's too hungover.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
that girl in the
the girl in
garden,
the garden.
bit, where they end up killing the first couple of zombies, and then the guy, like, breaks in.
Yeah,
And
so
then,
they
yeah,
realise
that's
their flat
a-
isn't safe.
Yeah, so
He's
that's
leaving
when
the
they
front
come up
door
with the
open.
plan.
And we need to go around and get everyone. They essentially they need to go and collect everyone.
Yeah, and they're like, where do we know that's safe that we can stay? And they decide on the Winchester pub, of course.
Obviously. Which someone brings up later. It's pretty bad that he has a safe house to survive the apocalypse and a nice date is the same fucking building.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, so he goes. I think to start with, he goes to get his parents first.
Yeah, they think they're
Where's
just going to
Mike?
have to kill Philip straight away, who's the stepdad.
Yeah,
Ed's just like, oh, I'll stay with the car because Philip's got a really nice car, and in the background you hear him like crash the car, so
Yeah.
that they have to take the Jag.
yeah. They're in the house.
Yeah.
And the mum's being very normal.
Well, yeah, she's
Uh,
being very mumsy of like, this is fine, or oh, I didn't
Yeah.
want to trouble you.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think, didn't want you to
I
worry.
loved she was like, "Oh, do you want something to eat?" He's like, "No, I'll make sandwiches."
Yeah. And then when I like it when he's talking to Philip, he's like, they said that we need to go, and he's just like, oh, it's all right, Barbara, I've run it under a cold tap.
Yeah.
Like-
It's a bite, not a burn.
That might just make it worse.
Yeah, I mean, if you...
But he's not actually turning by the looks of things. He's just poorly with some. He might even
Yeah.
be poorly with something else because we don't
Yeah.
ever see a bite.
It's a
He's like-
secondary
Yeah,
infection.
he's like, oh, we'll be fine. We had our jabs when we went to the Isle of Wight.
That was a
Oh.
great line.
That was great.
And so they go and get the car, but unfortunately they get surrounded by zombies, and his stepdad gets bitten
Again.
Yeah.
again.
Which again, they get surprised by zombies, which I don't know how in any piece of media
No.
you get surprised by zombies.
Yeah, you kind of deserve it at that point.
Yeah, they're slow moving and quite loud. You shouldn't get surprised by zombies. But he does. He gets bit, and they drive off.
They go to Liz's
and then
flat.
they go to Liz's flat.
And there's
To
an argument
collect.
about like what they're going to do, but basically they go with them because no one's got a better idea.
Yeah, it's such a petty argument of like, well, I'm not staying here by myself.
Yeah.
And there's no way Liz is going.
Yeah.
That's great.
They all leave. Worst bit of the movie, Ed just straight up drops the N-word when he pulls up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was weird.
Yeah,
That's
very
not aged
odd and
Weird
out
well.
of
and
place.
out of
Yeah.
place.
I mean,
Very
it's
out of
sort of
place.
in character, but in that it's so cringy. But even then, it's like, yeah, you don't need that. In the
Yeah.
film.
Yeah, absolutely no need for that.
But no one celebrates it. It is just met with a group
Groan.
groan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
so they
super unnecessary.
start driving towards the pub. Bill Nye gives a whole speech about how it was really hard to be a dad, but he's always tried his hardest and that, and Shaun finally connects with him just before he dies.
Yeah, the speech is really quite tender.
And then just immediately just broken down with, it's Philip, he's gone. And she's like, no, he isn't. And he's just turned into a zombie in the back of the car.
Yeah. And they're then trapped in the car. There's like this running gag with the Jag having child lock on.
Yeah, so they have to climb out the roof and that. There's like really loud music playing in there as well, and even as a zombie, he like turns it off because he doesn't like it.
Oh, yeah, that's great. He's like, because he's screaming. His mum doesn't want to leave her husband.
Yeah.
But right. He's like, he's gone. There's nothing left there of your husband or my stepdad. And then it like clicks off the radio, and they're both there like,
yeah,
something left, but not obviously not enough. Like he's still very, very much a zombie.
So then they have to walk to the rest of the way. They meet the sort of mirror group in the alleyways. Which is
and it's so weird. It's like they don't team up. It's just like, oh, where are you going? Oh, Winchester. Oh, okay, yeah, good luck.
And it's like the people in the group. It's like like Martin Freeman.
Yeah, it's the much better movie.
Yeah,
it's a much better film.
Yeah, I'd definitely watch it.
Yeah,
because they're actually trying to go and get help.
Yeah, whereas these people are just headed to the pub. But yeah, as they're going through the gardens, the mum is like, oh, I'm sure these people live around here, and gets kind of kept back a bit. And then I'm surprised they didn't realise that she got bit sooner, but you know.
That kind of scene makes no sense.
Yeah.
That scene makes absolutely no sense. Because
it's just her mum, she's just distracted momentarily. But she is, it's like, come on, she should have a bit more wherewithal. Because she has a bit of wherewithal when she probably tells him off and is like, you need to get over it. Like, he's not just your stepdad. Like, he's my husband. He's been my husband for 17 years.
Yeah.
And like, it was probably like, you know, you're being a twat.
I meant like logistically. Like,
but and then for her to be that useless.
Well, I don't like, she screams and he runs back and she's like on the floor.
Well, I guess the zombies just lunged at her.
But there's no zombie around. Like, he doesn't get back and go, oh god, a zombie. He's just like, oh, are you okay? And then the next scene, he's fighting a zombie.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
And they have to like stab it through with a swing ball thing.
Yeah, and like...
swing ball, what a game.
You'd have noticed that she was bit.
Yeah. And then, it turns out to get across to the pub, there's like a shitload of zombies there, and they're like, we're not going to get anywhere by moaning, and so they have the idea that actually, if we pretend to be zombies, we can get over there.
Yeah, did you get it? Did you get it?
Yeah, it's really clever.
Although I do really like the bit where they're like preparing, like, you just need to look like vacant and dead, and they go to the mum like, oh, Barbara, that's excellent. He's like, oh, sorry, dear, I was miles away.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, the failed actor is like getting everyone into character and being like, right, think zombie. It's like my time to shine. Little masterclass in acting dead.
So yeah, they kind of pretend to be zombies, cross the huge group of them, and as they get there, the doors are locked, and they're trying to think of a way in, and Ed's phone just starts going off.
Yeah, and he answers it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the guy is just trying to buy weed. Surely there are more important things going on right now.
Well, yeah, I mean, but also, if you think the world's over, you might want to go out in a blaze of glory.
Or maybe just hasn't noticed.
Yeah.
That's true.
But yeah, David ends up like throwing a bin through the window. So already there's like
fight.
Yeah. So Shaun's like, oh, for fuck's sake, I'll run off. I'll like get them all to follow me. You'll go into the pub.
But that's after he's had this big fight with Nick Frost about like how useless it is. Like, I'm fed up of having to, like, I'm constantly defending you, and you're constantly fucking shit up.
Yeah.
And it just sort of all comes to a bit of a head. But they realise they're having this shouting argument in front of a horde of zombies, and that's when Thingy throws the bin through the window, which is like a terrible idea because now like it's basically the building's compromised.
Yeah.
Zombie Survival 101.
Yeah. So yeah, Shaun sort of runs off, distracts all the zombies, everyone else sits in, and they're waiting for him to come back. And then eventually he does, and he's like, yeah, there's a back door, I was trying to tell you. The streetlights end up coming on, so like, okay, there is power, we can try and turn the power back on.
Yeah, the jukebox starts playing again.
Yeah, jukebox is playing. Ed wins on the slots, and so it just makes a shitload of noise because he's an idiot.
Yeah, because he's an idiot. Well, he doesn't even win. He just is playing.
Yeah,
He does win it because loads of the cash comes out.
Yeah.
Hmm.
He's just an idiot.
Yeah.
Tries to get them all killed, as far as I can tell.
Yeah. So then
he's just thoughtless.
So then all the zombies end up surrounding it. The old landlord, who's like a zombie, comes out, and they essentially beat him to death with pool cues. While "Don't Stop Me Now" by Queen is playing.
Just stab him, break it, and stab him. They're really bad at killing zombies.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of like thwacking, but I do like that the Foley sounds for the thwacking. It's not like that whip sound that you'd get in a Hollywood movie. No. It really does sound like it's just a bunch of people half-heartedly hitting a man with a pool cue.
Yeah. David's like flicking all the fuses to try and sort the lights out, and it's just making a crazy light show. Oh, the fucking dart to the head is awful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's really stayed with me actually, and that I'm really scared of like darts in pubs.
See, I'm afraid of zombies.
I'm afraid of the rifle above the bar.
I mean, yeah, if there were zombies in the pub, I would still be afraid, but like, I feel like I'm more at risk from having a dart to the head.
If one of them went near the dartboard, though, you'd be terrified.
Oh god, yeah, that's my nightmare.
Yeah,
worst nightmare. It goes really far into his head as well.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, yeah. And like when he wrenches it out, there's the little blood spurt.
Yeah.
And his mum dies.
Well,
they find out
in a
she's
minute.
Been bit.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
He throws Ed throws him the rifle and uses the rifle to push him the zombie into the jukebox, which finally stops it.
Yeah. Because this is all the Queen montage, isn't it?
Yeah. And he's like, "Why didn't you shoot him?" It's like, "It's not loaded." Pulls the trigger, and of course it is.
Yeah.
So they all plan to use the gun, and Liz goes off with Barbara, and it turns out that she's been bitten.
Yeah, fucking obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. So while they're trying to defend, and everyone's like getting more and more worried about her, and it ends up being a Mexican standoff because David's just immediately aiming the gun at her, and he's like, "Well, we need to kill her. She's a zombie."
Correct thing to do.
He's right.
Oh yeah, he's not wrong, but it's just the way he does it is like, now you want to shoot my mum.
Yeah.
If you ever met anyone in real life that like you'd know that in a zombie apocalypse, if they got bit, they wouldn't tell you? Because I know some people like that. They're not good people.
No.
I've never thought about it. You know?
You should. That's how you should judge people based on if they would tell you.
New icebreaker at work.
Yeah.
So if you got bit during a zombie apocalypse, would you tell the people you're with or hope that you don't turn?
Yeah. No, because
it says a lot about your personality, I think.
It does. And like, if it's Hollywood rules, I'd turn at the most inopportune moment.
Exactly. It can take a varying amount of time before you turn. Yeah. So
I wouldn't tell.
What?
I don't want to die.
You're the worst kind of person.
You're gonna die either way.
Maybe not. Already... Maybe I'll survive. Maybe like I'm the one that's
you've got the cure inside you.
Yeah, I could be like the girl in the Walking Dead. That's the plot, right? I haven't. The Last of Us.
And I think also The Walking Dead.
Is it not a plot point in The Walking Dead?
I think it's also
no. I don't think so. In The Walking Dead, it's no matter what happens when you die, you turn. Like it doesn't matter if you've been bitten or not.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of inevitable that you're fucked. So
it's bad that you'd get bit and not. You'd make you a bad person.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, I don't want to die.
You're just killing everyone else. Selfish, petty.
I wouldn't resent them for killing me once I'd turned, but like, you bloody better wait until I've turned.
Well, then you tell them that you've been bit. You don't hide
it. No,
because
then they might just kill me. Because, like, you saw it immediately gone to that poor woman's head.
Correctly.
If we get stuck in a zombie apocalypse together, Mikey, we're going to have some problems.
Yeah, we are. I'm not going to spend it with you. I'm going to get as far away from you as possible.
Well, you've
if
got
I
a good
turn,
head start.
I'm going to bite you, okay? And then, fuck you.
Well, if you bite me, I will tell everyone else I've been bit and leave them alone.
Well, then they'll kill you.
Yeah, I will sacrifice myself to save other people at that point. There's nothing else I can do in life. There's nothing else I can do.
What if it's like a thingy situation, though, where in the flesh? And not in a sad gay way, in a
What, that I can have a sad gay relationship? No, I would not want to live through the emotional trauma that is in the flesh.
Yeah, I mean, not me neither, to be fair.
Yeah, also it's not that different. Like it's an in the flesh thing. Oh, I'd be sad and gay. Oh no. Anyway, Shaun of the Dead.
Anyway, yeah.
Now I'm sad and gay, but the gayness is separate.
Well,
that was there anyway.
they're all having their argument. Shaun ends up shooting his mum after she's turned.
Yeah.
Punches David in the face, and then David's like, "Well,
Again.
I'm gonna leave."
Also rightfully.
Yeah.
Like also rightfully punches him in the face.
I remember the first time watching it, like finding this absolutely, being an absolute worst, the actual worst part of David getting torn apart by the zombies, and he's like over ripping
it
his
was
bar.
so good.
It's gruesome.
It's brilliant. I wasn't expecting it. I'd totally forgotten that happens.
Yeah, and
That's the only like
because he doesn't like die and get turned, which is sort of what you're expecting. Or he just gets
gets pulled apart,
literally pulled apart, and like they're scooping his insides out from his tummy.
Yeah,
and Diane
like
has one of his legs, and she runs out using it as a weapon. I think, canonically, she survives by hiding up a tree with the leg as a weapon as well.
Yeah. Amazing. I think that's the most visceral, like, violent part of the film.
Yeah, because all the rest of it is just like, like
It's comic
zombie
book
gore.
violence, yeah.
There's a one that they hit with a car, and they're like, "Oh, you're right." He's just like twisted to fuck. But
Thank God.
that is by far the most violent part in the whole film.
Yeah. Oh, that is funny though when they're twisted to and they're like, "What if he's not a zombie?"
Yeah.
And then he looks at them with his like clear zombie eyes, and they're like, "Oh, thank God."
So.
Yeah.
And they drive off.
Yeah, that was great. But yeah, they jump behind the bar.
Mm-hmm. Ed gets bitten by Pete after he's made a Molotov as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Pete's also naked because he turned in the shower, which I think is quite fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you had right, I know that Molotovs you do sort of have to throw them for them to properly work, but Ed literally has the bottle of alcohol, sets fire to it, gets grabbed by Pete, and drops it, and then it's just gone. Would it not still burn, or
what do you mean by it's gone?
He's got a Molotov.
It goes into the other room, and he comes out without it, and nothing happens.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
Well,
they end up setting fire to the bar anyway when they jump behind it. But yeah, Ed gets.
It might have
shitloads.
I guess if it doesn't, I don't know exactly how Molotov cocktail works, but it's if the bottle had just dropped and not exploded, then there's not that influx of oxygen to like make it explode. So it would probably have just poured on the floor, and the fire would have spread in there, and then maybe been stamped out by zombies and blood and stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
We never see that room again, so we don't know if it had like
it's
a
on
fire.
It's on fire.
Yeah.
It could be.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean, the
it's
rest
kind
of
of
it's
hard to. In general, it's quite hard to break alcohol bottles.
Yeah.
Which is kind of why they're good for Molotov cocktails, because you're not going to accidentally drop one. I think it's when they explode. Yeah, I think it's the influx of air.
That's when it gets the fire. Yeah, that makes sense. I just don't know enough about Molotovs.
Yeah, I'd look it up, but I don't want to be on a list.
No.
Yeah. Not the moment.
Let us know on Discord.
God.
We're going to do some research in our Patreon.
Yeah. No, so they go they hide in the basement because he sets the bar on fire, and the bar is where the ammunition is for the rifle.
So it keeps going off. Because they're all dove behind the bar.
I do like that line where it's like, "Oh, give us a break," and then the bullets like randomly just flies straight through the zombie that's about to kill them's head.
Yeah.
Like, okay, that's all you get. That's your reprieve.
And then they hide in the basement.
Yeah.
And they freak out, and then
they've only got two
bullets
bullets left. Yeah. Ed's there, and he's just like, "No, it's all right. I'll be turning. You two just kill yourself anyway." And then Shaun and Liz are making up, and Ed's just like, "No, I've changed my mind. I want you to shoot me."
But they decide to run. He's like, "Oh, hold the zombies off, you go."
Yeah, because they go to light a cigarette and notice that actually there is a button for the lift that they're on. So
because getting barrels up and down a bar is a pain.
Yeah. So yeah, they get out, and then it turns out the fucking army's arrived.
Yep.
I really thought for a second, because I couldn't remember how it ended, that the army just tears through them with the guns.
That would have been great. That would have been great.
But they do run over Chris Martin from Coldplay. as a zombie. So
Yeah, and it's the other crew, the other group.
yeah, Yvonne has
got the army, and
survived.
they're like, oh,
Yeah,
we thought we'd come by because you said you were going to be here.
The more interesting film.
Yeah.
Even though she still only got a golf club,
Yeah,
Yeah,
like the army at no point was like, use this instead.
there's
you're gonna
probably
come
like a
with us.
protocol where they're like, don't give the civilians guns.
A bat, something.
A bat.
Like, I meant
Yeah.
like just a soldier being like, a golf club is not good enough. Here's a axe or
She
something.
makes it work.
And she'll
yeah.
make it work.
yeah, they absolutely massacre the zombies, and then it's
And
6
then we
months
have-
later.
Yeah, and then we have in the flesh.
Yeah, because they're like, oh, they've retained some of their primal instincts, so they're good for like moving trolleys and shit. in
Ethically, I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, that's a bit
don't know
weird.
how
There's
I
the
feel about it.
Trisha thing where the woman's like, well, I was in love with him before he was a zombie.
Yeah, he's still my husband. I'm still wearing the ring.
Yeah.
She's like, do you wear it in bed?
Again, she's kind of presented as like an idiot. Actually, no, that's a good point. That's like a very good thing for someone to say.
Exactly. If you're not sure about that one, watch In the Flesh.
Yeah.
That's,
Don't watch it in the flesh.
No,
It's
do.
very
Just
And
watch
then tell
season
us how
1.
you feel.
only
Yeah,
watch
keep
season
prepared.
1 and then
Cry.
come and cry to us. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so now Shaun and Liz live together, and Ed is in the shed as a zombie that he can play video games with.
Yeah.
Yeah, zombie pet.
Yeah.
He's really not changed that much,
No.
No.
but he survives, and they're quite happy.
Hmm.
And yeah, it's sort of it's fine as endings go. Like there's I know that you say like it's a much more interesting film, but they don't save the day kind of thing I think is quite fun as well.
Yeah. I meant
Bit
just
more.
like cast wise. It's a
Oh
very,
yeah,
a very interesting cast.
I think you'd like Spaced.
I don't think I would.
Well, now you've made up your mind. There's no changing it, so that's
Yeah.
it.
No.
I think I have tried watching Spaced. And I just couldn't do it.
I kind of want to rewatch it now. I might do that.
Yeah, I want
later.
to watch Spaced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I did genuinely have a good time watching this, though. It'd been a good couple of years since I'd last watched it, but it is a film that I really enjoy, so.
Yeah, it's not really got any nostalgia for me in the traditional sense, in that I don't remember the film, but it's the actors definitely. Like these are people that are very established,
Yeah.
and I've watched them in loads of different things. So it was nice in that respect to be like, oh, remember when they were little and fresh faced?
Yeah. For me, it's a lot of the jokes as well. Like, this was a very, quoted film for quite a long time in that as well. And yeah, the nostalgia for me probably comes from watching it with friends and that, and just having a good time
Yeah.
watching it. Like, it's still one that I enjoyed watching. Like, it's still probably one of my favourites, to be fair.
Yeah.
Okay, so out of 10 then.
Maybe like a 9. Oh, I didn't think of a 9 whatever it is to give it. I had a good time rewatching it. Like I say, I enjoy having the nostalgia of watching it with friends and that. Like, it's still one that I would probably watch with friends if people wanted to.
I think,
But
yeah,
yeah,
if it's
no,
one that's on, or it's like the first thing that's suggested on Netflix or whatever.
Yeah, it's like,
I'd
oh,
be
that's
like,
good as
that'll do.
Halloween party, stick it on as background.
Yeah.
9 fence panels falling over when you jump over them. There we go.
Yeah, that one was quite funny.
Yeah.
Because you're expecting him to like comically go through it or like jump over it and hurt himself, and instead just the whole thing comes down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say I'd give this 7. You've got red on it. Pens out of 10. It's fine. I don't have the nostalgia. Like, I think I probably have a lot more nostalgia for Paul and Hot Fuzz.
Yeah.
I remember being disappointed with World's End the first time I watched it. So, but yeah, this one just isn't. It just, I don't know. I think because I also didn't watch any zombie movies or anything like that as a kid either. That the genre's not got a lot of nostalgia in it for me because too scary.
Yeah.
And like,
No,
there's
same.
still
This was-
loads that I haven't watched that I really know are good films and want to watch, and then I start them and I'm like, no, I'm good, not watching that.
Too spooky.
I've started Train to Busan like 3 times.
Oh, Train to Busan's really good.
Well, yeah, that's why I keep trying,
Yeah.
but then I get scared. So yeah, 7 other movies for Nick Frost and Charlie Pegg that I'd rather watch.
I
Yeah,
think 5 at most.
Yeah.
Probably closer to 4. 4 times the film tells me it's clever. No.
Ooh, sassy.
I don't know. I honestly don't. I can't. I just can't. These films don't agree with me. This style doesn't agree with me.
Yeah, I guess it's not for everyone, and like I can understand the witty bits and like the references aren't necessarily everyone's cup of tea.
Yeah, I like the editing style. Kind of bothers me.
Yeah, I don't hate the editing style, but I don't think it's like, oh my god, genius either.
Yeah. Yeah, it is in the same way that like a lot of people just can't get on with like Wes Anderson style.
Yeah, true.
But I love it.
Yeah.
The Wes Anderson style is 100% telling you that it's clever all the time.
Oh yeah.
It just is. But I'm okay with it. I can't explain why. I can't tell you why I don't like this film. I just don't.
No, that's fair enough. Sometimes there are films like that. So, like,
yeah. I'm not gonna defend it. I had a fine time watching it. I was entertained, but it's not one that I'd like dwell on.
Yeah, and some people are wrong like that.
That's fair enough. Well, with that, I've been Dan.
I've been Michael.
And I've been Helena.
You can find this podcast on social media at Hilton Pod. That's at HILTM Pod. We're on Discord as well. If you want to come and chat to us on there, let us know what you like about this film. Let us know how Molotov cocktails work, all that kind of thing, and give us a review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or anything like that. It really helps, kind of, get the podcast out there.
And tell your friends.
Yeah. So if someone
tell your enemies.
Tell your enemies to listen to our worst episodes.
And don't forget to ask your colleagues if they would tell anyone if they got bitten during a zombie apocalypse.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
We do also have a Patreon where you can support the show. Helps us keep running the show. Like, all the money just goes straight back into it. But yeah, what special thing are we doing on the Patreon this week?
So we are going to, and I don't think this is the first time this has come up as a Patreon thing. We're going to start a zombie apocalypse. We're going to put research into starting a zombie apocalypse. And we're not going to trust Helena. Collectively?
Yeah, I mean, you can trust me with certain things, but I'm not going to let you shoot me. I'm not going to give you reasons to kill me.
You know what? You can be part of the survival team. You're just only allowed to wear shorts, short sleeve t-shirts.
But you're all kitted out in like motorcycle leathers. You're just really setting me up to fail. You're dressed like a fucking stormtrooper and I'm in a bikini.
Yeah, you're not allowed long sleeve clothes. Can't be trusted.
You're only allowed to wear white.
Yeah. You have to wear white linen. You get white linen.
Have you guys ever been bitten by another person?
Not for a very long time.
No.
I don't know, Helena.
Maybe as a child? I don't know.
Yeah, not for a very long time. I'm going to guess you're going to say no, even though you have been.
No, I've not been bitten by a child.
I'm sure.
But I have been accused.
Sure you haven't.
I was accused of being bitten by... of not being bitten. I was accused of biting a girl. My enemy. My arch nemesis at school.
We're definitely staying away from you during a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
You're not making a good case for yourself.
So she, we were playing tag and she decided she wanted to get me into trouble. I remember this very vividly because it was very unjust and that sort of thing, stays with the child.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's times where I was naughty and I was told off and it's like, yeah, whatever, like, that's fine. But this was not fair. So she said, ow, you bit me. I was like meters away from her. And she looked me in the eye and bit herself. And then she went to the teacher and they were like, she's got bite marks. Obviously, you bit her.
Psychopath moves. That's worrying.
Unfortunately, she's not on Instagram or anything, so I can't find out what's happened to her. But,
in prison. In prison.
Yeah,
and
dark,
Helena, we don't believe that you've never been. You say you've never been bit by a person. Don't believe you.
Specifically because I've been bitten by rats quite a bit.
I don't believe you've never been bitten by a person.
Ow.
We've been through this. Untrustworthy. You're only wearing linen.
Now I'll turn up in a blood red full leather. But I look like something out of Underworld, but
Yeah. You turn up with like leathers with blood decals on them.
You get bitten and you're like, oh god, she's turning, and I turn into a vampire.
What a twist!
Like plot twist.
Well,
Still
then you
not telling
definitely
you.
need if you're like again, it's the same situation. If you get bit by a vampire and you don't tell anyone, fucked.